Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our mayor, Buddy Dyer.
So all of your seats, we removed them so the press could have some opportunity here. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. 13 years ago, we began a journey to transform everybody's favorite destination into our country's favorite place to live. Driven by a shared vision to shape Orlando into a place that is truly by everyone and for everyone, we made strategic investments in tools, technology, and training to fuel our superior police and fire protection, bringing world-class sports, arts, and entertainment here through our venues, expanding our parks and strengthening our neighborhoods, bolstering our transit options and building Sunrail, invigorating our downtown and making it the economic and cultural hub of our entire region, helping thousands of businesses open or grow, creating our tech and life sciences industry clusters, and building an environment that nurtures innovation and entrepreneurship. Today, we are the city where everyone wants to live. Orlando was the fastest growing major city in the country last year. It's an exciting time to live in Orlando and see the hard work paying off. And it's a result of the never quit, can-do attitude of everyone in this room today and everyone who calls Orlando home. As mayor, and more importantly, as your neighbor, let me say thank you. Together, we have accomplished so much, but there's more that we must do. So think about this. The 19th century centered on New York and the Industrial Revolution. 20th century was about California cities and the tech revolution. What city will define the 21st century? What city will be the new springboard for the American dream? Right now, we're positioned pretty well, but the race is wide open. So how do we ensure that Orlando wins? And that's a question we can answer with one powerful word: connectivity. In the century ahead, how we connect will be just as important as how we build. In the century ahead, connectivity will determine who leads and who follows. In the century ahead, it's cities that connect innovation, transportation, opportunity, and quality of life together that will drive our country forward. And there's no doubt that we've laid a great foundation for our future. In the state of our city, the City Beautiful is strong and is poised for great things ahead. To achieve those great things and be the defining city of the 21st century, we must be Orlando, the city connected. And the first piece of a more connected Orlando is a true 21st century transportation ecosystem that serves our region and beyond. Our transit infrastructure is key to our economic vitality and the quality of our life, and all of our regional partners understand this. We have $10 billion in transportation projects underway or planned for the next 5 years. The I-4 Ultimate is in full swing. We're less than 2 years away from opening Sunrail's Phase 2 South to Kissimmee. Next year, we'll add the Bright Line, which will connect Orlando to Miami. And soon after that, Charlie, Wright Rail can connect the airport to I-Drive. So we've added car and bike sharing to our city. and made Orlando more pedestrian friendly. We built more than 300 miles of urban bicycling trails, signed routes, and lanes. Limo is expanding, now serving the booming North Quarter and soon Paramore through the Lime Line. And later this year, with the leadership of Commissioner Ortiz, Orange County and Seminole County, we'll explore opportunities for a bus rapid transit system like Limo for the Cimarron Boulevard corridor. That system will link residents directly with OIA and the businesses along the corridor. Now, when it comes to transportation, we have accomplished so much, but there's more we must do. Even after all this is underway, we face a hard reality. It's not enough to avoid a future where gridlock holds our economy back and creates problems for each of us. To be the city that defines the 21st century, we must become America's new home of mass transit. Imagine Orlando a short 10 years from now. Our mass transit options make it easier and less expensive to move people to and from the places that they live, that they work, and that they play. In this future, Sunrail is the backbone of a transit system that ties downtown to the airport, to Lake Nona, and all of our major employment sites. We see thousands of professionals use Sunrail to commute to work every day, as well as to travel to the airport for business. In this future, Orlando's airport is a multimodal hub for the entire Southeast, and our transit system fuels job creation, major development, and more walkable, healthier communities. This future might happen, but it's far from guaranteed. It's up to us to make it a reality, beginning with Sunrail. The faster we grow Sunrail ridership, the faster this future arrives. That includes expanded service at night, on the weekends, and for major events, and the creation of other forms of public and private transit that link to Sunrail. At this moment, Sunrail's not ideal for all of us, but Sunrail can work for many more of us. Changing the way you commute's a big, intimidating decision. But if you listen to those who've done it, they'll tell you that Sunrail's made their lives better. They'll tell you that breaking out of the car culture means they don't have to sit in traffic for an hour each way from Sanford or Lake Mary. They get to work reliably, on time every day, and they're able to put their commuting time to better use instead of being stuck and stressed out behind the wheel of their car. So I want to personally challenge everyone who commutes to downtown using I-4, and that includes me, to try Sunrail over the next few weeks. So this challenge includes all of us. I encourage each of you to take a friend, perhaps somebody who lives in Seminole or Volusia County, who spends too much time in I-4 traffic, to experience the benefits of Sunrail firsthand. Okay, to make that easy, everybody here gets a pair of special Try the Train tickets, and they are good for the rest of this week. All right, so who's going to ride Sunrail in the next 2 weeks? All right. In a connected Orlando, world-class transit infrastructure powers a world-class economy. Our tourism industry has long been the foundation of our economic success. Just last year, Universal Orlando Resort, the city's largest employer, created 1,500 new jobs with plans for even more expansion. We've spent the last 13 years expanding on that hospitality foundation and building Orlando's next generation economy, focusing on the life sciences and technology clusters. Since 2003, city programs have helped create more than 2,200 high-paying jobs in these areas. These jobs have an average wage of more than $62,000, nearly 150% more than the current average annual wage. We've also focused on our Main Street districts that tie our neighborhoods and centers of commerce together. 8 districts are responsible for 1,000 new housing units, more than 4,500 new jobs, and $1 billion in new investment. Because of this great work, Orlando leads the country in job creation for the second year in a row. And our city economy ranks among the best in the country. We've accomplished so much, but there's more we must do. To create the economy that defines the century ahead and provides unparalleled prosperity for our residents, we must become America's new home for opportunity, education, and innovation. To accomplish this, here's a visual for you. We must create a ladder. No, not on the things, Commissioner Ortiz. Create it here. We must create a ladder to the middle class and beyond for every single person who calls our city home. Imagine our economy as a ladder we're building together. The first rungs represent our commitment to provide every child with opportunity for a great education. Moving up the ladder, young people have an opportunity to get a first job, learn important skills, and then leverage those skills on a pathway to a career, to college, or to start a business. Higher up on the ladder, we see new kinds of companies that have made their home in Orlando and that serve as a magnet to keep college graduates here by giving them the opportunity to have great careers without leaving Central Florida. Next, there's the opportunity for innovators and entrepreneurs to start and grow a business in Orlando because they're connected to all of the talent and all of the resources they need. In this vision, every rung on the ladder connects with another rung. Every step somebody takes is made stronger by the step they took before it. That vision of a ladder for everyone is why our new downtown UCF and Valencia campus is so important. This campus will anchor our innovation cluster, the Creative Village, but it'll be much more than that. It'll be a place where kids growing up in Paramore have a pathway from preschool to college to career, all within walking distance. Students can take what they learn in the classroom and immediately put it to use in the real world. To build this ladder, we must help young people connect to education and connect to opportunity. It begins with early STEM education and other programs to deliver education and enrichment to our young people, especially those who are served by the Paramore Kids Zone and our after-school All-Stars programs. It continues with initiatives like the Opportunity Jobs Academy, where we're connecting our high school students with an opportunity to have their first job, along with mentoring and skills training, and to help them succeed in those jobs. And I'm excited that this afternoon I'll get to be one of those mentors and experience that firsthand. To build this ladder, we must be the best. We must be the best place in the country for innovators and entrepreneurs. Right now, there are some amazing entrepreneurs at work in our city, creating the companies and careers of tomorrow. You'll see one of these companies on Shark Tank this coming Friday, a company called Trobo, which has built a storytelling robot for kids that teaches lessons about STEM-related subjects. Victory Tailgate is another homegrown success story. I bet you didn't know about Victory Tailgate. They started in a garage in 2008, and now they are the single largest manufacturer of tailgating games in the country, with 250 employees and plans to add 100 more this year. With a median salary of more than $55,000, Orlando's own You Break, I Fix is number 13 on Inc. magazine's list of fastest growing companies in America. This company's young leadership team made the decision to move their corporate headquarters and 70 employees to downtown because that's where their current and future employees want to live, and that's where they want to work. So we need to create an environment where more of these success stories are made every single day here in Orlando, and an environment where all of the pieces are in place for entrepreneurs to succeed, where someone could take an idea, turn it into a startup, get financing, grow the company, find talent, benefit from mentoring and guidance, continue to grow the company, and then invest back into the community. And we're making this vision a reality through the Firespring Fund, which provides the seed funding that's the largest barrier to growth faced by Central Florida's technology and advanced manufacturing entrepreneurs. Starting today, our community's best and brightest entrepreneurs can apply to the Firespring Fund and help take care of their business from startup to a sustainable company. When we invest in our economy, something amazing happens. We create a magnet for more talent, more innovation, and more small business creation. We create a magnet that ensures that more graduates from all our top educational institutes, including UCF, Florida A&M Law School, Rollins College, Full Sail, Seminole, Valencia, they stay here to pursue their dreams. And building that ladder also means leveraging the power of our world-leading tourism industry to connect with and grow new industries. Orlando Health's new Proton Therapy Center is a great example of this dynamic. The center will treat patients from around the world, merging elements of our healthcare and hospitality industries to grow a new industry, medical tourism. And the same can be said for the fantastic new USTA headquarters at Lake Nona. When the facility opens, we're doing much more than just christening the new home of American tennis. With the leadership of Commissioner Gray, we're leveraging the power of our great international airport and the medical city to help launch a whole new industry, sports training and sports tourism. We have an ambitious plan to bolster our transit infrastructure and innovation economy. To accomplish this, our vision to modernize government services must be equally bold. Commissioners, it should be said that our core city services are already some of the best around. So let me give you a couple of examples. Third-party accreditors call our police and fire protection one of the best of any Florida city. We continue to reduce crime, including residential burglaries, which were down 16% over the last 2 years. And we're also proud that 40% of our OPD officers and 30% of our fire department hires in the past 2 years were veterans. Our firefighters responded to 60,000 calls last year, providing medical attention to 20,000 people. Firefighters also trained 33,000 people in hands-only CPR, and we will double that number this year. And by so doing, all of us are more likely to survive a heart attack here than anywhere else in America, because if you don't receive CPR in the first few minutes before OFD gets there, every minute that you do not receive CPR, you have a 10% less chance of survival. So if your neighbor knows CPR, that's a good thing. In the area of fiscal accountability, Fitch continues to give our city the highest credit rating possible, recognition that our government is a responsible steward of your tax dollars. And we've achieved our mission of becoming the most sustainable city in the Southeast United States. While some of yeah, let's do that one. While our city services are some of the best around, there's more we must do. To own the 21st century, Orlando must become America's home for a new class of modern, data-driven, cost-effective city services. To start, we must ensure the city can support our ambitious transportation goals and our robust economic development activities. To do this, I've asked my Chief of Staff, Frank Billingsley, my Chief Administrative Officer, Byron Brooks, to undertake a top-to-bottom review of our economic development and transportation services, from permits to planning to connecting residents with resources and partners. We're going to modernize our systems, reduce and eliminate unnecessary steps, and provide the best customer service anywhere. We're going to be the easiest place to do business in all of America. And a new class of city services means working to build the most innovative police department in America, one that leads the country in dealing with complex crimes such as sexual assault, child abuse, and domestic violence. These crimes, unfortunately, are growing at an epidemic pace nationwide. That's why OPD is training a new special victims response team to better equip first responders to deal with sexual violence and crimes against children. In fact, later this month, Chief Mina will lead a national discussion at the White House to better understand the dynamics behind these crimes and how to prevent them by using data. Heroin abuse is another growing epidemic here and across the country, with 10 times the number of people dying from overdoses last year than just 4 years ago. Because of this, OPD is following the lead of our fire department and ensuring that every officer has the training and medication necessary to treat overdose victims and to save lives. Our focus on next generation policing will be the foundation of our new police headquarters in the heart of Paramore. More than just a state-of-the-art home for our modern police department, it will be a community hub, accessible to those who live and work nearby, with glass walls and community rooms, serving as the physical embodiment of our open and transparent policing efforts. The new class of city services also means tying sustainability into everything that we do. These days, sustainability isn't just about protecting our environment. Our green efforts are a big part of how we attract and retain talent and build that environment where young people want to live and work. We're working on a plan that will empower our business community by making sure that they have all the modern data necessary to make informed decisions about their energy and water usage in some of our biggest buildings. We're also continuing our own effort to improve the energy efficiency of more than 50 city buildings, which will result in a $2.5 million energy saving per year, which is allowing us to fund about 50% of the construction price of our OPD headquarters. Green and smart, how about that? We're making a commitment to convert our entire city fleet to renewable fuels by 2030, leading by example and making our city less dependent on gasoline. We've added 17 compressed natural gas trucks to our solid waste fleet and helped our airport, Phil, open its first CNG fueling station. And we'll help Lynx open its new natural gas fueling facility as part of their mission to put 150 CNG buses on the road by 2020. With the partnership of OUC, we're expanding our tree canopy through the One Person, One Tree initiative. We're working with our restaurant and hotel industry to divert food waste from our landfills through our new commercial food waste program. And we're investing $50 million in our city's infrastructure to improve roads, sewers, and stormwater drains so that residents can travel safely and our streets won't flood. Now, these kinds of improvements aren't always visible or sexy, but they're the foundation of our superior quality of life. Serving our residents means providing access to quality, safe, and affordable housing. To create more housing options, we're working with Commissioner Hill and partnering with not-for-profits like Lift Orlando and other businesses and developers to construct 5 new affordable housing developments, transforming vacant lots in Paramore into affordable housing. Thank you, Commissioner. The residents in our 21st century Orlando won't just require great places to live and work. They'll also demand great places to play. The spaces where we gather are so important to our quality of life. They give our city its character. They're where we make shared memories. We have incredible public spaces. We have incredible public spaces in Orlando, like our iconic Lake Eola Park. Since 2003, not only have we added the East Lawn to Lake Eola Park, we've added 22 new parks and renovated 28 others. We've also seen how public art can draw us together through Sea Art Orlando and the new art installations at Lake Nona. With Commissioner Stewart's leadership, we've enhanced Lock Haven Park by adding new performance space and outdoor event space. We've experienced the power that even small spaces have, like our community gardens, that allow neighbors who might not have known each other before to garden side by side. And we continue to see the economic power of spaces to watch sporting events and entertainment events. Think about the next 24 months. That strength will be on full display as we welcome hundreds of thousands of people with something for everybody. We have WrestleMania, we have NCAA March Madness, we have Orlando Magic Games, we have Copa American Games, we have Orlando City Lion Games, we have Orlando Pride's inaugural season, we have Solar Bear Games, we had 3 bowl games during the month of December and January. We have the Florida Classic. We have everything that Dr. Phillips offers, from Broadway shows to the jazz series. We have major cultural festivals of every sort and everything in between. Again, we have accomplished so much, but there's more that we must do. If we want to be the 21st century city where people from all over the world seek to live and invest, then we must become America's new home of great shared spaces. That means we need to see through the vision of our sports, arts, and entertainment district. Make sure it becomes a reality anchored by the Orlando Magic's SED project. It means we need to create and continue to create new park spaces by adding fields at Trotters Park and new parks in Southeast Orlando, and creating a dog park at Constitution Green led by Commissioner Sheehan. Thank you, Commissioner. It means we must blend new parks and green space into the fabric of our downtown, into all of our neighborhoods, like the way we're going to transform what used to be a giant parking lot underneath I-4 into one of the coolest public parks in America, the Under Eye. Our events and our public spaces are also a powerful platform to see Orlando's diversity. Think about the incredible inclusiveness that's on display at Fireworks at the Fountain, or one of our city's largest national night out events in Commissioner Ng's district. Thank you, Commissioner Ings. Or when we gather to open our community venues. In Orlando, we value every single person, and we believe that diversity is one of our greatest strengths, not something to be legislated out of existence. We've shown our state, we've shown our nation what it means to embrace other cultures, other ways of life. In recent days, we've seen some of the biggest companies in the world voice their unhappiness with Georgia and North Carolina over how those governments are seeking to infringe upon the rights of those who are different. I'd say to those companies, give us a call. Maybe it's time for a location change. Our diverse, inclusive Orlando community would be delighted to welcome you with open arms. And that same inclusive spirit is driving our efforts to end homelessness. For far too long, the men and women who selflessly served our country have been among the homeless on our streets. Energized by a challenge from the White House, more than 500 volunteers worked to identify all of the chronically homeless veterans in Orlando last summer. We've now helped a vast majority, more than 1,000 veterans, get off the streets and into housing. Florida Hospital's unprecedented contribution has spurred other private donations from across our region. And because of that, we've helped out 70 chronically homeless individuals who were living on the streets in downtown into permanent housing just this year. We have accomplished much when it comes to being a community where no one is left behind, but there is more we must do. To become America's 21st century city, a city by and for everyone, we must also become America's new home for inclusiveness. That means seizing the momentum that we've generated in reducing homelessness and doing even more. At this very moment, there are hundreds of homeless youth or unaccompanied young adults on our streets. And many find themselves homeless and alone because they're victims of abuse or have suffered emotional trauma or bounced in and out of the foster care system. Nationally, 40% have fled their homes because of differences with their parents over their sexual orientation or from bullying at their school. To address this, our partners, Phil and Kay Rawlings, have formed a task force to specifically focus on youth homelessness. This is another example of the many faces of homelessness we see in our community that most people don't even know exist. And it shows how challenging the issue is because there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Because of this issue, we have tapped into the expertise of CSH, the nation's leader in advancing housing solutions for our most vulnerable populations. We need that type of expertise inside City Hall, someone who is solely dedicated to solving homelessness. So I'm appointing Lori Papolino, Harris, who previously worked for CSH, to now serve as Senior Advisor to the Mayor on homelessness and social service issues. Through a partnership with Ability Housing, we are revitalizing vacant and foreclosed properties on Mercy Drive to provide affordable housing and permanent supportive housing units for families and the chronically homeless. And we're working with landlords to overcome the perceived risk and cost of renting to the homeless, to encourage more housing options for the chronically homeless. Part of the city's $4 million homeless commitment includes a shared risk fund that reimburses landlords for any repairs or excess damage or legal costs that they might incur. And I'm proud to report to you today that since that program's launched last year, we have not had a single time that we have had to use that fund. And there's no doubt that homelessness has been an unprecedented challenge for far too long for our entire region. But now, thanks to the collaboration of Orange County, of Seminole County to Osceola County, we are making headway. So we started today talking about what city is going to win the race to define the 21st century. New York Times columnist Thomas Friedman recently described the essential characteristics he felt were necessary to make that happen. He said, it's cities where, quote, coalitions made up of the business community, educators, and local government come together to forge hybrid solutions to improve their competitiveness and their resilience that are going to change the world. Now, does that sound like any city we know? Sounds like Orlando to me. It sounds like our proven model of partnership. And partnership is the hallmark of our community. Our community's ability to collaborate across political lines, ideological lines, and jurisdictional lines is both our great strategic advantage, and it is ultimately the foundation of every single accomplishment that we've made. This room and our entire city is filled with partners who deserve to be recognized and thanked for their partnership. But there is no group more deserving of recognition than our hardworking city commissioners, who are both great partners and great leaders. Thank you, commissioners. I want to thank Mayor Jacobs and the Board of County Commissioners who are in council today on Tuesday. So, Graciela, let them know that I'm sorry we scheduled this on Tuesday, but thank you for coming representing Orange County. Leaders from Osceola County, 4 of the 5 commissioners are here, I believe. So I want to thank you for letting me participate in the cattle drive yesterday and be the trail boss. That was one of the better experiences. But thank you, Osceola County, and thank you, Seminole County. Our very own State Senate President, Andy Gardner, is with us today. He had a great legislative session. He put together the funding for our Creative Village UCF Valencia project. Andy, would you stand up and let us thank you properly? And I was told Mike Miller's here. Is he here? There he is. Mike, we want to thank you for the homeless legislation. And Andy, if you would convey our thanks to Governor Scott as well. I have done so, but I think it's appropriate that we continue to thank him for making sure that that UCF Valencia campus, as well as the funding for ICOMAR in Osceola County, took place this year. Thank you, Governor Scott. Our great partners in the tourism community, including Universal, Disney World, SeaWorld, CFHLA, and Visit Orlando. Thank you so much. Our arts and faith-based leaders, and I see Jim Pugh representing them today. Thank you for being here. Our neighborhood leaders, our not-for-profit leaders, and all of the civic organizations that make such a difference in the lives of all of our citizens every day. And probably the one that's the most important to me, our dedicated city employees. To each and every one of you, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for your hard work and your commitment to our city. Thank you for once again entrusting me with the best job in the world. Because of you, we can confidently proclaim that Orlando is going to lead America through the 21st century. Thank you. God bless America, and God bless the city of Orlando.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us on the first floor in our rotunda for a reception with the mayor. Thank you.